Hi, my name is Pythagoras Gonçalves. I teach piano in Florida. And today I have Clara with me. She's going to help me in my demonstration of physiology and biomechanics principles that even kids can understand. I designed a virtual machine that has little men representing muscles in our arms and hands. So that's a representation of what happens, of what we have in our arms and hands, and their functions too, as you're going to see in the video. Is that okay with you, Clara?
That's fine.
Great. So let's start. We named each one of those little men that you're going to see also in the video is what we have in front of us. They represent a part of our bodies, like I said, and they have some function that we are going to demonstrate here too. So, for example, in our hands, we have some muscles that are actually pretty fast. Is the one that when we do and say bye-bye to somebody and we move the hands like that, we are mostly using muscles that are within our hands in the virtual machine that I've designed. Because they are fast, I named them Presto Mac Flex because they flex the fingers. Okay, Clara? So what's the name of these ones here that do this kind of movement? The bye-bye action?
Mr. Presto McFlex.
Presto, because they are slow or fast?
Fast.
They are fast. So can you show me a little bit like a bye-bye action? Yes, whenever you do that, or even all the fingers together. So what musculature are you using?
Mr. Presto McFlex.
Yes. Is that like, do you really have a little man inside of your hand?
No.
No. What do you have inside of your hand?
Muscles.
We have muscles that move the fingers, right? Okay. But in our little machine, it kind of helps us to understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. So to do that action, notice that we don't move from the tip of the fingers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Whenever we play the piano, sometimes we do things like this, like just using the arm in a very light type of action. Do you mind trying to demonstrate that too? So let's try, like sol, fa, mi, re, or G, F, E, and D. Very slowly, just using that kind of action. Whenever we do that, okay, very light, very soft. Whenever we do that kind of action, we are using, what is that name again?
Mr. Presto McFlex.
There you go, excellent. So, now, but we sometimes, many times actually, we use another combination of muscles in our arms that actually are not in our hands, but are in the bottom of our forearm. So those muscles are actually brothers of these ones here. So this is called Presto McFlex. This one here is a stronger muscle. You see there in our picture, it's called Mr.
Forte McFlex.
Forte McFlex. There you go. So it's what we do like when we are going to grasp something. Would you demonstrate that for us too? Can you grasp something? So whenever we are grasping, moving from the tip of the fingers, then we are using Mr.
Forte McFlex.
Forte McFlex. It's like, Mr. Forte is pulling the little ropes that are the tendons that go all the way to the tip of our fingers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so for example, if you need to play something a little louder, that your hand keeps that round shape, then for that, we are going to use both a combination of Mr. Forte McFlex and Mr. Presto McFlex. Would you do that shape for me, please? That round, okay, keep your shoulders relaxed. And yes, that's a beautiful hand position right there. So, if you move it down like that and let's play a loud A, for example, with the third finger. Very good. Let's try it again with the third finger. Oops. Let's do it one more time. You did fine. You're fine. Okay? Good. That's a G, right? That's fine. So when we do have that position in our hand that's a little bit stronger, what are we using? Mr.
Forte McFlex.
Forte McFlex and Mr.
Presto McFlex.
Presto McFlex, because we are also moving like that too. Now there's one other muscle that's very nice. I like him a lot. We use it a lot too, His name is Mr. Philip. Oh, sorry. It's Mr. Follop. You know how is it called Mr. Follop? Mr. Follop, not Mr. Philip. Mr. Fall Up, because it's the one that controls when we fall and when we go up with our whole forearm. Where is it located? It's located right here, and it's right in there. Point to so everybody can see. It's right there. It's actually our biceps, okay? So let's move it up and down, like move it like that. When you are doing that, what muscle are you using, Mr.?
Fall up.
Mr. Fall Up. Excellent. Now, there's another muscle that actually is in the back of our arm. Okay, so point to me. Is in the back of the arm. So, but let's point in the other hand. Is in the opposite side as Mr. Fall Up. That's called Mr. Down. Okay? And Mr. Down has that name because sometimes when we want to play something kind of fast, for example, you're doing, and then you have to do this, we sometimes use that musculature too, those muscles, the triceps. The triceps in our virtual machine is called Mr. Down. Let me tell you, we don't use Mr. Down very much because we have already gravity and we have weight on our arms that we can use to play. And we have Mr. Which one is the one in the front?
Fall up.
Fall Up. That can control how much energy we are going to put in the piano. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I wanted to try this exercise using the combination of those two muscles. First, we are going to play very softly like this. Then we're going to play a little bit louder and a little bit louder and a little bit louder. And then finally very strong, like thunderous loud. Okay? So let's try very soft first. Using both, most of the time, you're going to be using what musculature? Mr. Fall Up or Mr. Down?
Mr. Down. I mean,
Mr.
fall
Down.
up.
Oh, Mr. Fall Up. Because it's starting very soft, and then we are going to get louder. Mr. Down is only when it's thunderous loud. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's try that. Very soft first. Very good. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. Now thunderous loud. Yay! Okay. And now I could see actually that you had a little bit of Mr. Down going on. Okay. Excellent. Now, the last muscle that we have, it's one that's very important too for us to know because we can control that and we use it a lot. Because it's the musculature that stays on top of our forearms and it extends our fingers. Extending our fingers is when we move the fingers up. So when we have to take it off the keys, to play another key, for example. You know the name? Look it up. What's the name of the one that extends the fingers?
Mr. X.
Oh, you are so good. Very nice. Okay, Mr. X. Would you demonstrate for us? Yes, right now you're extending your fingers. So we're using Mr.
X.
Mr. X right there. So just reviewing those 5 muscles that we have. 5 places that are important when we play. So we have, which one is the musculature that do this
Mr. Press Stomach Flex.
Press stomach flex. And we do play a lot doing this kind of thing, right?
Yes,
Whenever we play scales, we are mostly using Mr. Press stomach flex. So what's the importance of knowing the muscles? Is for you to be aware of where to use and how to use them. For example, I was telling you, make sure you don't have your shoulders up like that. So there's another kind of muscle that I didn't put in that virtual machine yet. And there are so many other muscles. But it's for us when we play, is it nice for me to be like that?
No, sir.
No. Is it nice for us to keep using Mr. Down all the time when you really don't need it?
No.
No. So the whole idea is to be aware of that. Did that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Good. Would you look at the camera there? You look so pretty today. Okay, thank you very much, Clara.